we better just get going with this, Bill, because we have the business meeting afterwards. If there's anybody outside, you can come on in. Flavio, would you mind rummaging them in here, please? Thank you. Dr. Jarnigan needs no introduction to anybody. He is the current president of the IHPBA, and he's going to give us an update on the meeting coming up next year.
Okay, thank you, Magella. And thanks to the hardy souls still remaining here for this portion of the meeting. So I would ask the people who are still chatting to step out or step in and have a seat. So I'm gonna make this as brief as possible because I know people are interested in doing other things at this point in the day. So I'm gonna give over the next 10 minutes, and Magella, you stop me at 10 minutes and just take the microphone off. An update on our IHPBA activities. Mainly, I want to reinforce the close ties between our two groups, and a major role of the IHPBA is really to support the regional associations, because you know what your members need and want better than we do. And so we rely on you to help us support you in that goal. Just to summarize what happened last year or this past year, successful delivery of the Congress in New York, which I think everyone agrees it was a great success in many ways. Continuation of the regional harmonization process, which was painful at the beginning, but I think is now starting to yield results and benefits to all. Growing membership base, expansion of activities, new member benefits, ongoing development of the foundation, the journal, which continues to grow and strengthen with the impact factor of 3.8. Also encouraging diversity, led by Rebecca Minter, and the early career group to get new members into the society. So first about harmonization, we recognize that this was a painful process, but I think it's now completed, and I think it's starting to bear fruit for us all. This was taken from an article that Henry Pitt wrote, and it just shows the evolution of the societies over time. And it's interesting to note that next year at our World Congress will be the 30th anniversary of the IHPBA and the AHPBA in their current formats. So that's yay to us, 30-year anniversary. As I mentioned, the regional associations are certainly much closer to the members, and they understand the needs much better, and certainly play a great role in providing training opportunities and educational activities. And one of our major missions is to help support you in that role, and we rely on you to tell us what you need. We have additional resources to share, a website that's very good and extremely well run and used, with an advanced educational platform, IHPB, web-based learning, etc. The journal, which is owned by IHPBA, but benefits the regionals as well through a growing impact factor and profit sharing, and of course, support for outreach programs. Other benefits of regional harmonization: reduced fees, new member registrations, which are reduced at the regional conferences and the World Congresses, increased networking, benefits to both. These things benefit both the associations as well as members with cost-effective options. And I think it provides added value to members and promotes increased membership overall. Increasing member benefits in the non-World Congress year promotes continuity of membership. Increased member numbers result in higher attendance and reduced cost per member. And more members equals increased attendance at the World Congresses, eliminates competition for members between or among our societies, and the opportunity to share costs and resources as well. Switching to membership, this slide shows a very busy slide, but it shows two things. Our membership has grown steadily over the past several years. And at one point we were over 4,000 members. It also shows that every year we have a sort of a downtick in the membership right about this time of year, where people just don't renew. And so we really have to make efforts to try and retain our members as much as possible. And we're doing that through maybe a change in our software in terms of the membership. And the coming year, we hope that our membership will get back to prior levels. We did have a little bit of a dip in the last year, partly, I think, COVID related. This shows the year-on-year membership numbers. And, like the stock market, there's ups and downs here and there, but generally the trend is one of continued growth. We currently have a total of just over 3,500 members currently. The AHPBA makes up by far the largest fraction of almost half, with the remainder from Europe and Asia and Africa regions. We are truly a global organization, as this slide shows. The slides colored in red indicate areas of the world where there are IHPBA chapters, and there are very few places that don't have one, but we're working on that. We, are certainly working to extend our reach. We currently have 59 chapters, and are always happy to accept new ones. The process for new chapter development occurs with coordination between development committees of the IHPBA and regional associations, with key regional coordinators included, the development committee, et cetera. This is a self-nomination process. So we're not out there recruiting people to set up chapters. We're happy to talk to people if they would like to set one up and help them do so. We have available for them travel grants to for local surgeons to attend world and regional conferences, training fellowships for local surgeons, plus local platforms on MyHPB and incentives for these new chapters and discounts in low-income countries. Of course, and I don't need to say this, but COVID was a real challenge for everyone all over the world, and it was a challenge for the IHPBA as well. It certainly curtailed our activities. We had no outreach programs. We had no World Congress in 2020. And it hurt us a bit financially, but as COVID seems to be winding down, we seem to be back recovering. We had the World Congress in New York this past April, which was a great success. We had almost 2,400 delegates from 91 countries and 284 invited speakers. Some of those speakers are shown here from all regions of the world. I think it was truly a welcome opportunity for us to be together in person again, almost like a collective exhale. And it was a lot of fun. We did manage to spread COVID a little bit, but I don't think anyone got sick. Switching gears a little bit to talk about Congress legacy. This is now an important part of each of our World Congresses and will continue to be so. As a health organization, we need to look beyond just the Congress and what we're doing for that one day or for that one short period of time, and try to set up something in the region that benefits the local group according to their needs. And this year's Congress, where we're really going to start this in earnest, is in South Africa, as you all know. And we've been meeting regularly to determine what we could do that might benefit the region the most. And one of the things that kept coming up was hepatocellular carcinoma, which is a major problem in Africa, particularly in the sub-Saharan Africa, where mortality rates are extraordinarily high. This is true for many, many reasons. You can see here, this slide summarizes mortality rates of people around the world diagnosed with HCC, and the sub-Saharan Africa is way at the end. So real inequities in terms of how outcomes, and I'm sure in many other areas, as you can imagine. For example, health systems that are failing, discrepancies between private and state sectors, urban versus rural, lack of accessibility to healthcare services, limited diagnostic tools, treatments, et cetera, cost restraints, shortage of practitioners, surgeons, and others. You name it, I'm sure there's many inequities there. And certainly we don't have any illusions that we're going to change this overnight, but we thought this was an important area to at least make a start and to hopefully develop a program that, according to the region, is important, and that is kind of longer lived, and may give rise to perhaps annual conferences or symposia, or maybe even additional outreach programs. To do this, we are partnering with a number of different groups, other associations, not just surgical associations, gastroenterologists, et cetera, industry, and also with government. This will turn out to be an effort in 3 parallel work streams: clinical, industrial, and advocacy. And we think all 3 are equally important in making this a successful endeavor. The aims and goals to facilitate the connection between developed and developing units across the world, to share ideas and concepts already established between these collaborations, and to provide a platform for communication and further collaboration. And what this may look like is a web-based platform through the IHPBA website, a homepage with project ethos, mission statement, et cetera, registration page, current projects, resources for collaboration, and other things as well. As far as the resources for this collaboration, we envision video-based teaching and interactions with instructive videos, a platform to share operative and clinical videos, simulation-based teaching, perhaps, web-based multidisciplinary conferences, sharing perhaps of physical resources at some point, and maybe even fellowship opportunities. One word about Virtual Reach, a program which came about mainly during COVID, but has proven extremely successful. And it's something that we believe will be very good in this platform to extend into the Africa region with a series of webinars tailored to the needs of the local group. This slide is a reminder for me to say that we need members to be on committees. This is a self-nomination process. And we strongly urge you to volunteer, to be part of the group and make contributions to any committee that you would wish to serve on. I want to just take a couple of moments to talk about another important initiative called the Early Career Group. This is something spearheaded by Rebecca Minter. This is an effort to bring younger people into the society. And it's an extremely important effort, as the young members are the lifeline of the society, and to ensure that we understand the needs of these younger members. This group was created. You can see the sort of leadership group here, but the group is actually very large and very active, and not just sort of a group that somewhere out there and we never see them. The leader, the chair of the leadership council is Julie Hallett from Canada. There's a provision now in our bylaws that this person will have a seat on the executive council. So she or he will have the ear of the leadership and be able to talk directly to us about what they think they should be done for their particular needs. A lot of things have been done already with the Early Career Group, including a lot of receptions at various meetings, focus sessions and talks, webinars, et cetera. And they have a lot of energy, and we look forward to engaging them more in our association. Rebecca, are you looking at me because I'm over time? I'm sorry. You gave me that glare. Rebecca Minter currently serves as our diversity and inclusion officer in the IHPBA. Clearly an extremely important position as we seek to broaden the diversity of our membership. She has undertaken a study to look and identify barriers and facilitators around the world that are keeping women, and in fact other minorities as well, from entering the field of HPB. And she's actively involved in investigating this, and her results will be presented at the Cape Town meeting. Of course, we want to always reflect increasingly the diversity of our membership, and we'll do so at every opportunity, but we need to continue to make these efforts to make our society as diverse as our culture. I was struck, I think yesterday, by the photograph of the, I don't know, 9 or 10 women who were at the IHPBA meeting about 10 years ago, and now how many were in that photograph. So very impressive effort by the IHPBA, and we need to do the same. Just a shout out to our innovation subcommittee. David Geller heads this, a very new subcommittee that looks at new technology and how to perhaps get it into the hands of our membership. This is a relatively new development as well. We've been working with MedBook to develop a smartphone-based case log for surgeons to track their cases. And this is something that for trainees who are members is available for them for free. Yeah, the IHPBA is certainly committed to supporting research. And as part of that, we've been involved in supporting a number of registries, as you can see here. We continue to get requests for doing so, and it's a big part of our research support. And we're proud to say that we actually were able to sponsor a clinical trial, certainly not a multi-center randomized phase 3 trial in any sense of the word, but it's a start. And I think this is something we as a group need to do more of. Support clinical trials. It's vital to our understanding of how we treat these patients. And of course, outreach missions. This has really been the lifeblood of the society over the past many years. Since COVID restrictions ended, we've had outreaches to the Philippines, Formosa, and Asuncion in Paraguay, and Addis Ababa most recently. I talked before about the virtual outreach program, and that was developed during COVID that allowed members to meet and engage and work together, have webinars and present cases, et cetera. And this is something that we will continue going forward. New industry partners with the IHPBA, Baxter, joining the ranks as well as AngioDynamics, and we look forward to a mutually beneficial relationship going forward. The journal, Professor Stephen Wigmore continues as editor-in-chief. He's very pleased to tell the membership that our impact factor recently reached 3.84, and that we will have a new impact factor coming out this summer, and hopefully we will go beyond that. So the next priorities we have: focus on the lessons learned in the past, learn from our Congressy legacy that we will establish in Cape Town, and then hopefully we'll be able to do the same in a more mature and fashion in 2026 and 2028. To develop a Congress model that ensures continuity, build membership, continue with our education and research activities, strengthen the journal, encourage and promote diversity and activity in the early career group, grow the foundation, which is the financial arm of the group and pays for all of this, and certainly a very important effort. And then continuing with our clinical registries and clinical trials collaborations. And of course, we're always looking for new industry partners. So to conclude, I think the IHPBA is strong. Despite some financial downturns due to COVID and the absence of our or the cancellation of our in-person 2020 meeting in Australia, the financial aspects of our society remain quite strong. We have certainly new challenges ahead, but I think we're well poised to meet them. And we look forward to working with the IHPBA leadership in the future to help your members. So thank you for your attention. I really appreciate it.
Any questions? All right.
Okay.
Thanks. See you. Have a safe trip. All right. Well, we're going to get on with the business meeting here now in the next 30 seconds. So stand by. Don't go anywhere. Except you can leave. Huh? No, the slides. Okay, all right. Well, this will be my last duty as president, and it's been